ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय। भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय। शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय। स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी प्रबुद्धानंद भगवान की जय। माता पिता की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, and we have started verse number 10 yesterday. Yes. Brahmana dhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yah लिप्यतेन स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाभास। यह the one who sangam attachment tyaktva giving up karmani actions brahmani onto Brahman adhya offering karoti performs sah he padmapatram ambhasha eva just as the leaf of a lotus does not get by water papena by sin na lipyate is not affected. The one who performs actions, giving up attachment, offering one's action onto Brahman is not affected by sin, just as the leaf of lotus does not get wet by water. Bhagwan explains on how one's action can become an offering to Brahman. Here karmani refers to action not only enjoyed by the Vedas, all the actions, but others' actions as well. All actions, not only the actions as per the Vedas, but all the actions. And how are these actions to be performed? Sangham tyaktva, giving up attachment. Attachment means giving up the attachment with the result from that karma. Result of the action. One has to give up that result. Attachment to that result. If you do a karma as an offering to God, Ishvara, and are not attached to its result, whatever the result be, sukham, dukkham, you are not attached. If you are not attached, the offering of the action is to Ishvara, the Lord. From this we understand that it is Karma Yogi who is being discussed here. Only Karma Yogi does it. Rest are all karmis, not Karma Yogis. When Karma Yogi offer his or her action to Lord, it implies giving up one's attachment. Here the question may arise, how can I offer my actions to Ishvara? How can you offer all the actions to Ishvara? Can I offer my speaking, walking, talking, hearing, touching, tasting, all these also, they are actions. How can these be offered to Lord? I can understand that placing of flowers, fruits, prasada, I can offer to God. But how can cooking be offered to Lord? How can a cleaning of mandir, cleaning of house, cleaning of office, cleaning of a shop, showroom, cleaning and washing of clothes, cleaning of dishes, how can these actions become an offer to the Lord? No way. Action becoming offering when Ishwar is looked upon as dharma. All the actions become offer when Ishvara is looked upon as dharma. We have already seen how one's action can become an offering in verse number 2. Shloka number 47. It is crucial point in terms of understanding karma, yoga and dharma. We have seen that dharma is twofold. Samanya dharma and a Vaisheshika dharma, Vishesha dharma. Samanya dharma is in terms used to denote universal value such as not hurting others, not stealing, not doing things that we don't want others to do to us. They are Samanya dharma. The other kind of dharma is Vishesha dharma, which is born out of Samanya dharma. Refer to what you have to do is in a given situation. The given the role you are playing, every role has a script and the script becomes Vishesha dharma. If you play a role according to the role you are given, exactly to the script you are given, then you are playing a Vishesha dharma, which is governed by Samanya dharma. You have to keep in mind. Doing Vishesha dharma, keeping in mind with Samanya dharma. Both Samanya dharma and Vishesha dharma are Ishvara. Only when Ishvara is looked upon as dharma, one can there be an attitude of offering. Offering of your actions unto the Lord Ishvara. Only then will it work. Otherwise, performing one's action becomes Ishvara's mandate, which you have to obey. Of course, you can take what is being said here as mandate and follow it, or you can look upon dharma itself as Ishvara, which is now it is presented in Gita. We will see in the 18th chapter how Ishvara and dharma are not separate. The creation being pervaded by Ishvara, Yena sarvam idam tatam. What? This is in the 18th chapter, 46th verse. Since the Lord is both the material and the maker, the creation is non-separate from the creator. Any natural order is a part of the creation and not created by some individual. Any natural order is part of creation. It is universal dharma. In the 18th chapter, Bhagwan says that your action becomes a worship of the Lord when you perform your duty. Swakarma, the action that is to be done by you at a given time and place. By doing this, Antakaran Shuddhi is gained. By living a life of Karma Yoga, Antakaran Shuddhi take place, after which knowledge can be gained. This is what is meant by Karma Yoga. What we call Dharma is looked upon as Ishvara. Then offering actions to the Lord is possible. Dharma is Ishvara. Dharma means you know what is to be done and what is not to be done in a given situation. And you do what is to be done correctly as an offering to Lord. Then offering action to the Lord is possible. Even you look upon Dharma as the mandate of Ishvara, there is no problem. It can be a mandate from you. You can look upon it as a mandate. So karna hi padega. Karna hi padega means it is a mandate. And if you look upon it as a Ishvara's mandate, then also you have to take it. Even if you look upon Dharma as a mandate from Ishvara, there is no problem. But a mandate implies a master-servant situation, wherein the faithful, obedient servant goes about doing what is to be done without necessarily knowing why. Simply because it is the mandate of the master. The servant's will is surrendered to the will of mandator, the master. In the same manner, the individual may surrender his or her will to the Lord, which is Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. When you do Dharma as Ishvara's mandate, then you have already Arpanam your Buddhi to Ishvara. Now, whether you do it with your will or without will, it doesn't matter. You are doing it as mandate. But if you do it with will, it's good. And if you do it as a mandate from Ishvara, then also it is good. A Karma Yogi is a devotee. So either you take Dharma as mandate or you take it as a Ishvara. Either way, this awareness of Ishvara makes you a devotee, bhakta. A devotee is one who is aware that Dharma or mandate is not separate from Ishvara. It is non-separate from Ishvara. Only such people are devotees. They alone can be Karma Yogis. A Karma Yogi is a devotee. What is commonly called Bhakti Yoga is actually Karma Yoga. Because only devotee can perform action as an offering to Lord. So the Karma Yogi performs an action saying, I perform this action for the sake of Ishvara, meaning according to his mandate, his order. I happen to be in this situation and this is to be done. Let it be Arpana, an offering to the Lord. In his commentary of this verse, Shankaracharya ji equates this attitude to that of a servant who goes about doing various actions for the sake of the master. The expression for the sake of Ishvara is further qualified in the verse by word Sangam Tyaktava. Sanga means attachment, implying that the person is impelled or dictated by likes and dislike. The tyaktva means giving up. When you are impelled by likes and dislikes, you are performing action for your own sake. If you perform action for your dislikes and likes and dislikes, you are performing actions for your own sake with awareness of dharma. Then you are doing it. Whereas if you sacrifice your likes and dislikes, when you sacrifice your likes and dislikes and perform action with the awareness of dharma, then you are doing it for the sake of Ishvara. Then it is Ishvara arpanam buddhi. You have no problem if what you have to do for the sake of Ishvara happen to be in agreement with the raga, and what you should do not happen to be in agreement with your dvesha. Then you are a bhakta, and your action becomes spontaneous. Only when raga dvesha are against dharma does the conflict arise. So what does karma yogi do? He or she conforms to dharma. He conforms to dharma even though it may be unpleasant. In this way, the action of karma yogi become an offering to Brahman, Ishvara. In verse number 11, Bhagavan says the purpose and the kind of action that karma yogi engages in. Kayena mansa buddhaya kevalairapindriyerapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktavama shuddhaye. Yoginah, karma yogis, sangam, attachment, tyaktava, giving up, atmasudhaya, for purification of mind, kaivalya, purely, without being impelled by likes and dislike, kayena, with the body, kaya, manasa, with the mind, buddhaye, with the intellect, buddhi, indriye api, and also by the senses, karma, action, kurvati, perform. Giving up attachment, karma yogis perform action purely without being impelled by likes and dislikes, with body, mind, intellect, and also by the senses, for purification of mind. This is how karma yogi do action. They perform actions purely. They are not attached to any like or dislike. Whatever the result comes, Ishvara prasadam. They have full complete faith on Ishvara. To perform in such a manner, one have to have complete faith in Ishvara. Shraddha should be there. Only a bhakta has pure shraddha. And they perform action with body, mind, intellect, and also with by the senses. And this leads to purification of the mind. In this verse, we see what karma yogis do, how they do it, and why they do it. A karma yogi performs action by using his or her instruments or means, karanas, ear, eyes, nose, touch, taste. They use everything, and everything is used: the physical body, the mind, sense, and intellect. Since everyone performs action using the body, mind, sense, and intellect, why does Krishna says that here that the karma yogi perform action in this way? The karma yogi does exactly what others do, with only one difference. Only one difference. Giving up attachment. Sangam tyaktava. Everybody does the same actions. Every day they do same actions, including Mukesh Ambani. Everybody do same actions. All grahasthas do same actions every day. The only difference is the jnani, the karma yogi gives up attachment. Sangam tyaktava. Both the aviveki, a person without discrimination, and the viveki. Karma yogi may appear to perform action in a similar way, but the viveki does it having given up attachment to the results of action. Giving up attachment to the results of action. This is very important. There should be no attachment to the result. Whatever result may be, whether the result is sukham, dukkham, whether it brings raga or dvesha, whether it brings labha or nuksana, whatever. But Karma Yogi is not attached to it. He just does it. Does it prayerfully, with honesty. Honesty means with pure mind. He does it without any attachment to the phala. He does the job properly. He doesn't say while doing that job, kya hame kuch phal mile na mile, kya karna hai. No, with complete discipline, proper attitude of doing the job. He has to do. If a person is a businessman, he has to follow all the rules and regulations of business. He cannot leave discipline. Whether result, he is not affected by the result, but he has to follow his business with discipline. He has to have a proper attitude towards business, proper attitude towards the karma. I am not affected by the result. Should not make you lethargic towards doing of karma. The karma has to be properly performed. That is why it is said, when you perform ritual, you should follow properly. You should follow. Properly do it. Only then you will get the desired result. Whether you are affected by the result or not affected by the result, it doesn't make a difference. You have to properly follow first. Do the karma properly. Then you should not be attached. Whatever is given by Ishvara. That is the true attitude, karma yogi attitude towards karma. We have already seen what giving up attachment means. One's actions are offered to Lord without the mind being dictated by ragas and dveshas. There should be no ragas and dveshas in the mind. Ragas and dveshas should not dictate you. This is the reason why the adjective kevalah is used here. Kevalah means purely, without likes and dislikes. This attitude is called Ishvara Arpan Buddhi. With Ishvara Arpan Buddhi, the yogi performs action. Giving up attachment also means that result of one's actions are taken as prasada, a gift from the Lord. Actions are done in keeping with dharma, which is Ishvara. See, this is what I'm talking about. Actions are done in keeping with dharma. Dharma means discipline, order. Whatever is to be followed is to be followed while doing a karma. You cannot lethargically do karma. Karma has to be properly done. If you are a Prime Minister of India, then also you have to perform action according to a Prime Minister. Whether you do it as a karma yoga or not, it doesn't make a difference right here while doing action. Then you do it according to your dharma. Dharma is Ishvara. If you are a public figure, follow dharma. If you are a business person, follow dharma. Dharma of business, dharma of a politician, dharma of a service person. Follow right dharma, follow proper dharma. You have to do your action with dharma, because dharma is Ishvara. If you are doing a ritual, do it with dharma. If you are performing a puja, ritual, do it with dharma. This is how actions are performed by Karma Yogi. And what do Karma Yogi get out of performing action in this way? What do they get? They perform action purely for Antakaran Shuddhi, for purifying the mind. Atma Shuddhaye, nothing more. They are not interested in the Karma Phala. They take Karma Phala as a prasada. Whatever is given is Ishwar Prasada. Prasada from the Lord Himself. Whatever He gives is taken, because their interest is not in the phala. Their interest is in Antakaran Shuddhi, Atma Shuddhaye. They do not perform action for their pleasures and security as the Vivekis do, as the others do. This is the only difference. Actually, we want to do karma as karma yogas. Generally, we want to do, but then we get attached to the karma phalas. And when we get karma phalas according to our choices, we just float with them. When you get the karma phalas, you should not be attached to your karma phalas. Between the karma yogi and the jnani, there is one more difference. The jnani does not have the notion of doership. This is the difference between a karma yogi and a jnani. The jnani doesn't say ki I am doing. He doesn't have to say even. He doesn't have that feeling of doership. The notion of doership. The jnani knows that the self is not the doer. Jnani understands this. He knows very clearly that he performs no action whatsoever. Jnani is not the self is not performing any action whatsoever may happen. He is very clear about this. All that is happening when an action takes place is that the sense organs are engaged in their respective fields. That is how Swamiji thinks. It is all sense objects doing their duties. They are engaged in their respective field. Eyes are seeing, ears are hearing, nose is smelling. But Atma is doing nothing. There is no doership at all. So the difference between the Jnani and Karma Yogi is that Jnani does not have the sense of doership, whereas the Karma Yogi does. But Karma Yogi has the proper attitude. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, the awareness of Ishvara. So he or she gains Antakaran Shuddhi. When Antakaran Shuddhi takes place, then Jnana takes place. He becomes Jnani. After this, he will understand the oneself with the whole oneness of Atma with Paramatma. Then his doership will also go. And once doership is gone, he is also a Jnani. Because Karma Yogis are mumukshus. They are mumukshus, interested in knowing. They perform action as means for moksha, just as sannyasi do, whereas those who are not mumukshus perform action for the sake of results. The others are still in the realm of results. Ragas, dveshas, that's why it is said they are into the chakra of janmas and mrityus. Ragas, dveshas, janma, mrityu. They are not mumukshus. Karma Yoga is primarily for purifying the mind so that self-knowledge can be gained. The knowledge about self. This is the topic. Self-knowledge. Understanding the self as the whole. Self as the Paramatma. But it is not a direct means of moksha. This is why it is said that perform action for the sake of Antakaran Shuddhi, which prepares the mind for knowledge. Karma Yoga will not give you knowledge. Karma Yoga will prepare you for self-knowledge. Karma Yoga prepares the mind. Antakaran Shuddhi. Karma Yoga does is Antakaran Shuddhi. Prepares the mind for the knowledge so that self-realization can take place. And when self-realization takes place, the mind is pure, not attracted and attached. Only then self-understanding can take place. Only when your mind is not attached, is pure, Shuddha, only then you can understand the oneness of Atma and Paramatma. Can keep on saying, thousands of life can pass by saying, Atma is Paramatma. I understand the God, Ishvara as me. But we are not still understanding. Because we need to have that pure mind. That purity should be there. That Shuddhi, Antakaran Shuddhi should be there. Antakaran Shuddhi, that attachment, the bondage is still there. That is why it is Antakaran is not yet Shuddha. Despite of doing Karma Yoga for thousands years, it takes time to relieve oneself from the attachment, the bondages. the bondage with ragas and dveshas, the bondage with karphala, yet he's still interested in the result. Despite of saying it, still interested in the result. Even I am interested, still interested in the result. This is the problem. Still, वो प्राप्त नहीं हुआ, वो प्राप्त करना, अंतःकरण शुद्धि, purification of mind, releasing oneself from the attachment. That is why it is said that perform action for the sake of antahkaran shuddhi, which prepares the mind for knowledge. What is the meaning of purification of mind? Antahkaran shuddhi, what is it? In verse number 12, Bhagavan explains this. What is antahkaran shuddhi? युक्तः कर्म फलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमप्राप्नोति नैष्ठिकम् आयुक्तकामकारेण फलेक्स्तो निबन्धयत्. Nibhadyat. I'll clearly explain this. युक्तः कर्म फलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिम् आपनोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तः निबध्येत्. युक्तः, the one who is endowed with karma yoga. Karma phalam, the result of action. Tyaktava, giving up, is given up. Naishthikam, born of a commitment to life of karma yoga. Naishthikam. Born of a commitment to life of karma yoga. Shantim. Composure. Apanoti, gains. Ayuktaha, the one who is not committed to a life of karma yoga. Kama karena, led by desires. Phala saktaha, being attached to the result of action. Nibhadyet, nibhadyet is bound. Nibhadyet, dha, adha dha, ye dhayate, nibandayate, nibandhayate. The nakara is not there. The one who is endowed with karma yoga, giving up the result of action, gains a composure born of commitment to life of karma yoga. Whereas the one who is not committed to the life of karma yoga, led by desire, is bound, being attached to the results of action. In this verse, Bhagavan explains the meaning of purification of mind. Such a mind is what is implied here by the word Shanti, means composure. To the extent what one has a pure mind, to that extent is his or her degree of composure. Shanti is gained because of freedom from ragas and dveshas. That is gained by living a life of karma yoga. Prasad buddhi is an attitude wherein there is a glad acceptance of whatever comes. whatever comes now and whatever has happened before are taken gladly, cheerfully. It means that nothing is taken personally, either as something that has happened to me or something that I have accomplished, and this is only possible when there is prasada buddhi. The karma yogi doesn't impute to the self all omissions and commissions of the past, and with reference to the present, whatever happened is taken as prasada. He or she is not dictated by ragas and dveshas. If one is not dictated by ragas and dveshas, then whatever happens is taken as prasada, being in harmony with the order that is Ishvara, being in harmony with the dharma. This we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Gurubhyo Namaha.